only need to double your money 10 times on $1,000 to make $1 million. It's that simple. Sounds better than it is, because clearly it's harder for most people to make $1 million. But in this video, I'm going to show you 10 coins in which I would put $1,000 into to potentially double my money. The game is easy, but I thought I'd take this quite seriously, list them in order, list them in terms of the plays, and give some other ways in which you can flip money as well. So let's get right into it. The first token is Medieval Empires. Now, the reason why I selected this is because if you know about market cycles, we are on the cusp of the gaming market cycle. And the goal of this is simply a 2x. Right now, Medieval Empires is sat just under a $5 million market cap. We already know before we enter the BTC halving, historically, there's always been one crash. So in my opinion, on a market crash, if BTC starts to go on a pullback before April, I would be looking at Medieval Empires. Okay, the next thing I would be doing, a quick one if you guys are watching this, if you are entering this and if you are watching this before the, I think it was 3 days from now, so what's that, the 26th of February, I recommend checking out Aether Games on Paid Network Ignition. What this is a private sale, and this is going to be launching on Paid Ignition completely for free. You don't need no tokens, you don't need no initial investment. You can go on Aether Games on Paid Ignition and enter the private sale as well. You will have to invest into that. There's over $1 million up for fundraising, and if you manage to get into this is one of those where it's an easy 2x, like at least a 2x on your money. Okay, and remember, if you're thinking in terms of plays here, well, Aether Games is launching soon, and then after that, you might have the March dip. So if I was taking this seriously, and if I had $1,000, I would go to Aether Games, I would try get into that private sale, I would flip my money on there, hopefully make a 2x, and then I would move on to another project and look at, I don't know, maybe looking at Medieval Empires, for example. One thing that you do need to know, you will need to learn about tokenomics, distributions, due diligence, and tons of stuff when getting involved with these types of projects, which is why I recommend you check out our free course after this video to learn exactly how you can get started off in crypto, learn about due diligence, best exchanges, how to cash in, how to cash out, market cycles, everything. Okay, the next coin is Chappies. Now, Chappies helps other companies with their social media, and it helps other businesses grow. If you've been around for a few cycles, you will definitely know about these fake groups on Telegram, fake Twitter bots, and companies that look like they have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers, and they don't. You go in their communities, it's quiet, and it's just the admin speaking and some bots, right? Chappies helps solve that, and it also helps reward you as an individual getting involved and hustling. If you notice here, there's a big emphasis on hustling when you're first getting started out and you only have $1,000. You're gonna need to get involved, and if you can get involved with Chappies on the platform and also look at the token, it's only a $1.2 million market cap. This thing here, you know, in this scope and in this category is untapped. It's what you call a blue ocean thing. It could really rally. Okay, the next token is ShopX. Now, if you look at ShopX on the all-time chart, it's absolutely dead, it's absolutely wrecked. In fact, me personally, I wasn't even going to invest in ShopX myself, right? And then what happened is, I'll tell you a quick story. I booked a nice villa in Koh Samui, and I was chilling with some of my boys, right? And they're all heavy in this crypto space, right? Way more than me. They've got multi millions of dollars. And obviously we're sharing deals, we're going back and forth. And he said to me this, he said, bro, why are you not in ShopX? And I was like, bro, it's dead, it's finished, right? And he said, no, look at this chart, right? It's down 99.2%. He said, just buy a few $1,000s, right? Because eventually it's gonna pump, right? And when it does, it's gonna go. I was like, okay, I went to the Twitter. I see the team is still talking. Okay, I looked at the distributions. It's fully distributed. Okay, if I'm talking about flipping $1,000, another one where it's a very small market cap, and if or when it comes back, it will really do. Strategically though, this one here in terms of timing, I would always go with Medieval Empires or Chappies, and obviously Aether Games on Paid Ignition first before I looked at these types of projects, because again, I could invest into this and it might not move, right? It might never come into fruition. Okay, so that's why me with ShopX, this one is realistically it should be like way at the bottom of the list. But again, if or when it pumps, you're talking hundreds of X's. Okay, if this thing comes back. Next, Drive right now absolutely outperforming. I messaged the CEO recently, and I've always had confidence in Fidosh. She's a female entrepreneur. She's from India. If you guys don't know, my girlfriend's from India as well, and obviously she's a girl. I know that, you know, that mindset there is strong, right? You do not mess with number one, female entrepreneurs, and number two, smart people from India, right? Disciplined, focused, And I believe in investing in not just tokens. I believe in investing in entrepreneurs, right? And I put my money behind people who are going to win. And I think Drive is going to win. They have signed and secured the COO of Kareem. They have also signed and secured leases with taxis in Dubai. So it's an active business. It's a real business. They have real drivers, real technology, and they're delivering a real impact. So again, Drive is only a $2.9 million market cap. It's absolutely tiny in the grand scheme of things, and it's down 94%. If you will notice a little piece of alpha for those of you guys that are still watching this, with these types of projects, you will see a circulating supply, and you can see it's fairly large compared to the usual coins that you will see. That's because these projects are starting to distribute tokens, and over the bear market they have distributed most of their tokens for private and seed round investors. And these are the types of projects you want to look for, ones that are still running and still working, and they're building, but the token price of these things don't reflect the company. If you find a coin and somebody shows you something, go check their Twitter, right? Go check their Telegram, speak in there, don't be shy, and just see how active the community is. If it's real people, real engagement, and a real business, you might be onto something. Okay, and I personally am onto something in Drive. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Next, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works and dish some alpha for people that stay in tune. Next here is Lootbot, and Lootbot allows you to auto farm airdrops. You guys can see here I'm farming on Solana. I'm currently working on Mayan Finance. Okay, it automatically will swap tokens from there and trade them back. Okay, it's like fake volume or whatever they call it, right? It's adding volume, which normally you would have to do this manually, and with only $1,000 you can get started with this. You don't even need $1,000, right? I've only invested like $450 into this thing on each network, and it's working, and once you start making more money, you can scale it up. If you look at the Jupiter airdrop, some kid made over $1.3 million with over 1,000 wallets. So you can see the type of scale that you can do with these types of things, and that's just one airdrop. The good thing about Lootbot is if you look here and I go to menu and click start and look at the trades, you can do all types of different airdrops. You can farm Scroll, Layer 0, Solana, Manta, Base, ZK Sync, Ethereum, like different ones on Ethereum, and many more. Lootbot is absolutely crazy. The bonus of that is they actually give away most of their fees, right? If you look here, over 142 people have signed up for Lootbot. You can also find a link for that in the description. And whenever other people sign up, the good thing about this is they have to sign up for a link. So you can't just go find Lootbot and sign up, right? You have to sign up through a referral link. And most of the time, if you look at people in the community, some people are also making quote unquote passive income from this thing too. So Lootbot, again, when I'm talking about hustling, running up $1,000, you have to think, okay, when you've invested into something, my money's stagnant. I need things to do. So I need things like Chappies where I can be active, running up some money, and also things like Lootbot where I can just be in the community and just share my link. Okay, you want to join? Get other people on. You can see already here we've over $37,000 worth of volume. So guys, let's keep running this up. Check the link in the comments if you want to do it. And again, you can farm any airdrop automatically. This thing is running on autopilot. Okay, next we have Devi. Now Devi is a larger market cap, as you can see, but it's all in terms of its industry, right? Devi is at L1, and layer ones are larger market caps, right? They tend to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars of market cap. If you guys see my video where I mentioned Zeta Chain before, we spoke about that, right? Zeta Chain was only $100 million market cap. Average market caps in that industry are about $300 million. So it was like, cool, easy 3x if we can get into this, right? I mentioned this in Telegram as well in the free group, and I don't think anybody's speaking about Devi right now. Now if you look at Devi and compare it to things like Zeta Chain, even though Zeta Chain is like one of these like layer zeros, it's built Bitcoin and all this type of all this fancy stuff, again it's just looking at industry, right? I treat these things like real estate. There's a reason why people refer crypto to real estate, is because the due diligence and stuff like that is actually fairly similar. If you look at L1 or L2s as a whole and you treat it as in terms of like real estate and the industry, well, you look at it and you go, okay, these ones here, if they refine a few things, right, if they grow, they might be able to get up to the market caps of the average ones near the top, right? Maybe the top 10, maybe the top 20. If you look at Devi, if Devi gets into the top 10 or top 20 of the L1s, for example, this thing could do it easily a 10x, right? Easily a 10x or maybe more. When we're talking about just doubling our money, right? Remember, we only have to do it 10 times. This thing, 2x. To me, this is where I will put. This is where I'll put, right? Next, Osaka. Osaka here is a high risk one. As you can see, we're already pumping up over 267% overall. But again, it's a new coin, right? I got this coin from Coach K. Shout out Coach K Crypto. He's a great guy. He says that, these guys are, in and around the same team as Shiba. It's the same type of people, and it could run. Meme coins are one of those things where it's like, okay, so many people in Shiba and then they sold, right? Imagine if you had $1,000 in Shiba back in the day and then you just left it, right? You wouldn't have had to do anything, the whole crypto market, and you would have made over like $5 or $10 million, right? It's not a joke. So again, Osaka Protocol, $68 million market cap, one of those higher risk towards the bottom of the list, down with like ShopX and these things, but still very, very good. Next token is FI, Fidium, right? You guys have already, if you follow me for a while and you've got the crypto list back in the day, you will know Blockbank's on that list. Fidium has already done a 30x this cycle and is continuing to rally. I don't think this thing is going to stop. I'm very, very bullish on FI. And guys, run it up. This thing reminds me of Swissborg. Long term, I do think that this can do it easily 10 or even 50x. Okay, so if we're talking about 2x at these levels, especially if we're coming up to March and we should be able to have this crash into BTC halving, FI will be something that I am picking up again. Even in my personal portfolio, I'll keep accumulating more FI. Next, we have Castor. Now, Castor's one of those things, it's had bad press before. You guys already know I'm good friends with Carl the Moon. I've already explained the press, but for those of you guys that are new, Castor on launch, it did so well, it crashed the whole of BYBIT. Show me another launch that has done that. No one. Nobody has managed to crash this thing. I was an early investor into Castor, and even I couldn't have sold. Guys, I'm very transparent on this channel. I tell you guys all the time, I would have dumped my bags at that high. I would have, right? Because I'm in at launch. Hopefully, guys, A4 Games does a 20x or 50x at IDO, and you're able to secure some profits as well. That's how the game works, okay? But I couldn't, right? The whole thing was down for everybody. And what happened is while the app was down, the market maker was trading. Okay, it's exactly the same thing as Devi. Look at when Devi launches. Devi launched, it launched on time. But why they did that, you could look at the link on the exchange, you could see the active price moving way before the IDO. Market makers, right? If you guys didn't know, that's how trading works, right? Look up people like Nav, like old school traders and stuff like that. When we moved into this bot era, most trading online is actually fake. It's all washed volume. It doesn't exist, right? It's like some matrix level stuff. So yeah, Castor had bad press because of this, right? And guess what? They continued developing, they continued gaining users. And as you're seeing, right, look at FI's price right now, $56 million. Look at Castor's price right now, $10 million, right? Castor does the same thing as FI, fairly similar. Obviously, they have their own USPs. But again, if you're talking about market caps and just accumulating just a 2x, Castor is up there on the list. Okay, I'm very, very bullish on Castor. And I'm very, very bullish on the team. I respect what these guys done, and they stuck around, and they're going to deserve the next cycle that comes to them, okay? Next, we have LBP. LBP comes into that Launchpad's fit area of things. If you know about Launchpads, you know that when Launchpads start going, they all start going, right? It ends up becoming a narrative in crypto, and Launch Block is one of those things. It's one of those smaller market caps inside of that whole narrative that will just gain volume because of that. And especially when it comes to launches, imagine if A4 Games performs well, right? Then what's going to happen is everybody's going to want to get into IDO. When they do want to get into IDOs, paid network, too expensive, right? Poker starter, too expensive. First come, first serve, the gas becomes too expensive. You're having to spend more in gas than actually having to claim the tokens. Launch block, right? Comes out of a launch. They're launching this new coin, you want to get in. What are people going to do? Oh, it's only a $5 million market cap. It's easy to accumulate guaranteed allocation or the max tier in this thing, and everybody buys it. Right? That's why these things all pump at the same time. If you look at the charts, there's a reason why most of them look like the same, right? And again, this cycle, when you look at retail, you see the retail chart that's actually interested is tiny. Once retailers start realizing that they can genuinely make a 10, 50 or 100x on a coin, yes, you have to secure profits. Yes, they all go down 99%. But you can make 100x on the way. They're going to get involved, right? And they're probably going to come on things like Launch Block, okay? So yeah, Launch Block, something that I'm very, very interested in as well. And finally is Polychain Monsters, right? Polychain Monsters, very similar. When all the coins in gaming pump, Pmon is only a $1.6 million market cap. It's live on KuCoin. You guys see Nakamoto Games, a project that we invested into at early investment as well. And you can see Interstellar DAO also got in as well. Look at it, 30x. Fast, right? If Polychain Monsters catches even half of that hype, again, another thing that will also perform very, very well as well. So that's not it, okay? If you are somebody that has followed from the beginning, you will know that this is a $1,000 to $10,000 challenge. Now, to stay up to date with the $10,000 challenge, I decided to do a $10,000 giveaway. I'm going to give away a portion of my allocations in different types of projects, and you will have to invest, but this is an opportunity cost, which, you know, if you look at PokerStarter, you've seen these guys, you have to have a minimum amount of tokens, like $20,000 to $40,000 worth of tokens, or you have to get in first come first served, and not everybody gets in. So what I decided to do is a little bit similar. I'm doing a giveaway. You can get in, and all you have to do is join the Telegram group down below and look for the giveaway. In fact, I might put a giveaway link down there below as well. So let me know if you're getting involved on the $1,000 to $1 million challenge. I'm gonna document this. I'm gonna start this as well, and maybe you can start and join along as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Subscribe and peace.